Danny, how you doing?
Fantastic. I see you in the document. At least it looks like you're in there.
I'm living in it.
We have 116th dentist's nightmare. Paul is the potential guy, the landlord. You say he called from this number. So what does that mean? Did you call him and leave a message or something?
No, this premises, I'm going to take a step back and explain the whole thing. This premises is listed on Loop Rent. I just found it a couple of weeks ago. I wanted to visit the site and see if everything was in place, the infrastructure and such. So the number listed on LoopNet, which is the 917 number. And then this guy called me back from the 646 number. Paul, who is listed the broker on record, also turns out is the landlord in this case. And he is a dentist. So while he called me, I asked him, "Are you the owner of this premises?" Yes, and I also run a brokerage, and I also am a dentist. And I got this tenant evicted after 2 years, and he did not pay me. So thank God he's out. And then I'm just, looking to get back to my dental. What do you mean? He's like, "Oh, I opened this site 2 weeks ago." I'm like, "What?" Yeah, he's like, "I'm running this site. I don't want to run this site.
All right, you
I
keep
just want
saying
someone to take."
words like premises and site. So you're saying that the laundromat is operating. He opened it.
He opened the laundromat 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And he's
All I
running
need
it.
from you is a number that you want me to call. And what I'm seeing here are 4 numbers. So, if he returned the call from a certain number, I would say that's probably the best bet. I can't.
Yeah, 646.
Yeah, I can't skip trace for you or try to figure out, which numbers are the best. But if Paul called you from that number, great. Now, he wants $485,000 for the business, and that does not include the building, correct?
Correct. And I said, we are not in the business of buying premises. We only want to find spaces that we can rent, and I want to present it to me. And he said, "Okay, forget about it. Just rent is okay." And actually, that's biz buy sell that you're looking at, but he has a LoopNet listing, which is only rent, nothing to do with buying the business, whatever.
Yeah, he's trying to
Looking to
squeeze
rent.
somebody for $485 if he can.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
surprised that he
He was
opened it.
desperate. He desperate. He's like, I want to get back to my dental practice. I don't want this headache. I'm like so sick of this. Just take this off my hands. So I did go and take a look at the site yesterday. It's in fairly good shape. 99% of the machines are in working order. It looks like it's been recently maintained, painted. Everything seemed pretty good, I gotta say.
Well, no, because the fact is this equipment is very old. Much of it is broken.
Yeah, 2016.
Yeah. And
out of the 60 or 55 machines, 3 were broken.
So he wants $8,000 in rent, which is not going to happen. That's the part. Now, I implore you in the future, don't call these people, because even if I say, Addie is my partner, he's not going to remember you. He's just going to think, "Oh, I got 2 calls on this property. One was one
Sure.
guy,
And
I was another guy."
I completely understand.
Yeah,
I was itching to get off the phone. I just wanted to check out the infrastructure.
Well, everybody says the same thing.
He kept blabbering and blabbering and blabbering. Yeah.
Everybody says the same thing. I didn't mean to talk to them, but I did. If you need to vet the landlord, just, he called you from a number, don't answer the phone, and then you give me the number. All right, let's call this guy up, and all this is about is rent. He's not going to get $485,000, not out of anybody, including us.
Oh, he knows. He knows that. I think he's aware that he's not going to. I mean, we're not. I advise, it's up to you, but I advise don't even 485. Just, we're only interested in rent.
Well, you don't have to advise me. Here we go. I'm calling him up. Stand by. Take bullet point notes of what he says. I advise.
You reached Dr. Paul Ganjan. If this is an emergency, please hang up. Dial 911. Leave a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you.
At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Dr. Paul, give me a holler. My name is Danny D'Angelo. I'm calling on your space here in the city, referencing a long-term lease. So hit me back. Not about dental stuff. My teeth are good. Cheers. All right, so we're going to put here STVM, which is straight to voicemail. His phone didn't even ring. And he actually IDs himself as Dr. Paul in his message. So we're going to put that in quotes. So you've got the right guy and his cell. LMTCB has left message to call back. He dials me at any point. Now, I suggest you figure out what these other numbers are. One of them might be his office. Just Google the numbers. That's what I want to see every time. I don't need a long explanation on what goes on this stuff. I mean, you found a listing for a laundromat. It's a good size. What we need to do is knock that rent down from $8,000 to something that is reasonable. And he's already told you, I don't want this place. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. I don't know how to run a laundromat. So I'll just bolster that conversation when we have it with him. He calls me back day or night. I'll send you a text and we will dial him.
Yeah, I think he will.
Together.
He will call. Yeah. All right. Do you want to move to the second one?
I do want to move to the second one. Yes, it's been closed for 2 years. So I'm going to go down and look at these photos from the broker. So you're really focusing on stores that are for sale on LoopNet, right? The broker is David.
These are for rent.
Okay.
Yeah, this is for rent. Yep.
And this is a recent photo, so we see that the infrastructure is there because the equipment is there. Or is it? Is this still the way the store looks?
Well, the first photo I took from the outside, I don't know what it looks like on the inside because it's shuttered. I asked the broker to show me the space. He's I don't know, he's so busy he doesn't even answer. I don't know what's going on.
Okay,
So
you need to get in and make sure the infrastructure's there. If it's not,
right,
we don't want to bother with the guy.
But in his, I understand, but his listing online for rent has these photos and clear description that says the premises comes with 110 machines as shown.
Okay, 4,500 square feet, Jersey City. Yeah, as shown. Lovely. What are they asking for rent?
It says negotiable. His listing says negotiable.
All right. So.
And again, this was also listed 2 weeks ago.
We're not going to call him a broker. We're going to call him an agent because that's his focus here is the agent for the landlord. All right.
Right. Got it.
Let's call this fucker up and see if he's answering his phone. Here we go. Stand by.
Hello, this is David.
Hello, David. My name's Danny. I'm calling on some commercial space here in Jersey City. I would like to rent from you, perhaps.
Okay. Which space is that?
This is there's a shuttered laundromat here.
Yeah. How can I help you?
Well, that's what I do. I've been in the laundry biz for about 21 years. I've got a few stores. Tri-state area is my stomping grounds. And, you know, my partner scouts these locations, and I assume that the infrastructure is there. I assume that it needs a retool. If the rent makes sense, if you're not crazy and I'm not crazy, maybe we send you an LOI and rent this place for 15 years or so. I'm going to retool it. I'm going to put new equipment in. I know that's what it takes. This is why these folks fail. They think it's a cash cow, and normally they buy them and they trade hands a lot, and ends up sort of like this.
Yep.
So if they're still looking for a laundry,
that's exactly what happened here.
Yeah.
They sold and sold and sold, and then that guy just, the wheels came off, I guess.
again and again. And, somebody's smart enough to keep the place shut down, which is precisely what you should do, because otherwise, hey, what's the return here? What are they earning? Laundromat. Oh, it's cash. It's cash. Oh, we don't deposit the money. We can't. Okay, well, show me your books. I could go on and on ad nauseum. Bottom line, it's a big store.
Mhm.
What is your asking rate on a 15-year term?
Honestly, based on it being on the market and where other offers are being presented, we're asking mid 60s plus about 8 per square foot. So all in all, $73 a foot.
Well, you say you have offers,
There've been,
and I want to touch on that.
yeah,
I don't get into bidding wars. So at the end of the day, I have 36 locations, and that's a great rate for a national chain, or I don't know, a bagel shop.
Yeah.
But a laundry can't survive at that, because I'm not going to come in here and try to run it with the equipment that's there. I know you've listed. I might be giving you advice,
no doubt,
for someone else, right? At the end of the day, I'm not going to come in there and try to operate it with that equipment. So my debt service is going to end up, I'm going to spend over $1 million on washers and dryers here. So I've got that debt service, and the lease rate needs to be commensurate. It needs to make sense. I mean, I've got stores in Jersey City. I'm paying $12 a square foot. I can't do anything about your triple nets, but that's the reality for someone that knows how to run this. And it just relieves the headache for you, because you're collecting rent on time for that 15 years.
Just to be clear, I'm a third-party broker. I have no involvement with ownership of the property. I'm just trying to be transparent, certainly
Sure.
not trying to instigate a bidding war. I could, care less what the owner ultimately agrees to, but we've had a couple laundromats look at it, and, we've had a couple of laundromat offers. We also had an offer from a very aggressive offer from a daycare user that, has 2 locations nearby in Jersey City and probably a wait list of hundreds of kids. I have no idea, but they, they aggressively are pursuing the site. And that's a use that the ownership is really like, it seems like a light bulb's going off, like, hey, maybe this is a great change of use,
right,
rather than keeping it a laundromat, which we thought it would be a no-brainer, for another.
Well, again, I'm
operator,
always
a seasoned one like yourself to come in and do something good with it.
I can't help myself but say, I don't want to see this infrastructure go away. My card's on the table. I'm after infrastructure, nothing more, nothing less. I see these stores go for sale for millions, then it ends up being 300,000, then it ends up being 65,000. They're trying to sell a failed business, and it's rented space with massive infrastructure. I'd hate to see it turn into a daycare or a Braille dartboard store or anything other than a laundry, because then the infrastructure goes away. But that actually adds all of my other stores. These folks that needed to use this laundromat have found other locations. Nobody drives around with laundry in their trunk saying, I wish I could find a laundromat. They know where they are. They find them. They do their laundry. So it just changes the pool, if you will. I'd love to have the store, but I mean, I can write you a letter of intent, but I don't want it to be ignored. I don't want to waste the energy. Frankly, if I were you, daycare sounds good. Look at what it's going to cost you to vanilla the space. Unless the daycare is saying, hey, I don't need any TI. I'm willing to do this for nothing. It's a different story. Obviously, there's a lot of balls in the air. So being a third-party broker, explain what that means in this case. What does that mean in this case?
Yeah, so we were hired by the owners of the property to market the vacant space, right? So we need to find them a tenant that will pay a rent that they accept, and hopefully is successful long-term tenant.
Yeah,
You know,
by
that's our goal.
by the landlord. Sure,
Um,
you're the landlord's broker. I get it.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah,
You're the
exactly.
guy.
That's all.
You're not trying to sell the
Um,
laundromat. We saw this for
oh no,
sale
no, no,
for
no, no.
$485,000. I know that's not going to happen. I mean,
So now you just saved yourself $485,000 by talking to me.
I love the way you. So you didn't. That wasn't your listing at any point.
It is no, not the business sale. We rarely do that.
Yeah.
Our listings are usually direct with ownership listings, and you know you don't pay a broker's fee. The owner pays the fee.
Oh no, I
we're
get
just
it.
Trying to find a good tenant.
Trust me.
Yeah.
I bought my first laundry 21 years ago. I would never do it again. I built this empire by discussing potential leases with folks like David. That's what I do.
Sure.
So, you know.
So what's the footprint of your operations right now, generally?
Well, it depends. You know, I won't go any smaller than 1,500 square feet. There are laundries in the city, in Manhattan, that are 800 square feet, and it's because some landlord
Sure.
100 years ago had this space, and he's like, "What the fuck am I going to do with this?" Oh, my cousin's a plumber, so I'll put a laundry in there. Okay, it does fine because that landlord doesn't allocate rent to himself, and everybody that lives in the building comes down and does laundry. Great, and they put a little awning out and they let people come in off the street. But that's not my footprint. You know, I need 1,500 square feet minimum, and it's a long story. But trying to make money with wash, dry, fold, we don't do that. We use contract attendants. We allow them to run the business. I'm interested in coins. I'm interested in coins turning to dollars, turning into 401ks. Easy stuff. And when you have enough stores and you're paying the rent, I do end up owning some buildings because I want a first right of refusal. You know, none of this is difficult. It's not brain surgery, but laundromats can also be run into the ground, or they can end up doing very well. It's not difficult. People want good machines, good security, and they want cleanliness. That's why they are there. And they don't even want to be there.
No doubt.
It's not fun. It's a chore.
Yeah. So, yeah. Hey, listen. Sounds like you're very experienced, and we probably have, putting this site aside, we have other opportunities that would be a great fit for a laundromat. So what we should do is at least start with texting me your email address to this number. I'll get you the setup on 166 Christopher Columbus, and see where that one goes. It probably, based on the conversations and the proposals in negotiation, you know, if this daycare guy is going to come in, be successful, and not cost the landlord a lot of money, he's, you know, doing a lot of the work himself, how can I tell them not to take a higher rent?
Exactly.
Right? So I think there's going to be other laundromats like yourself that wanted it, but it's not going to make sense. That's my suspicion. But, you know, we're seeing everything through, and I would encourage a written offer if you want to do it.
Well, I'll give you more advice. Make sure that these laundromat operators are that they're not distributors, because if they sell equipment, what they're going to do is scoop this place up, try to sublease it, and sell it to other potential operators over and over again, and watch them fail. Not good for you, not good for the landlord. I mean, you know, maybe if you can, this is a small commission for you. I know how this works. It's just a lease. So
what's the name of your store?
I'll email you. I'll send you all the detail. You can crawl up my ass. I'll send you before and after pictures and everything else. If I take over a store and it's called Bob's Laundry and the sign lights up at night, I leave it. You know, my LLC is going to be very different from what the sign says, but folks want that, that familiarity. Hey, Bob's is open again. They don't give a shit. You know, this is our founder. Jack in the Box is great. It's just a bobblehead. It's a figurehead. No one cares. So at the end of the day, my branding is just colors, and it's all white, because that's hospital white is how you do the store. Again, I could go on and on ad nauseum, the small things. I'm not going to write anything I mean, if I write this at $12 a square foot, it's going to be ignored. I can go as high as 20 and send you an LOI, because you know it's a real offer. It's just giving you the ability to say, hey, we have a real offer from a strong operator, and this is what that would be. So I don't know. If somebody's going to pay you $73 a square foot for a laundromat, what they are doing is probably going to be subleasing it out. And watching others
Yeah, or just
fail.
not being successful and fail.
Well,
So yeah,
that's part of it.
text me or email. I'll send you. Yeah, I'll send you all the
Well,
stuff
tell
we
me
have. On
what's your email.
156.
Just
We'll
tell me
see
what it is.
see what that
I'll
one
write
goes.
it down. What's your email? I got it the first time through. I'll fire you off a thing. I'll CC my partner, and
Fantastic. We just did a big laundromat up in Rockland County, New York. They took like 8,000 square feet. It's called Zest Laundromat, and we have another laundromat client of ours that's opening in Sayreville, New Jersey. They're under construction, so we know it's a great business, and we try to look out for opportunities for laundromats. So
Sure.
I'm sure we have something else up our sleeve that might make some sense.
Yeah, we'll stay in touch. For me, the only way I want to do this is a lease and free infrastructure. That's pretty simple. I watch these folks build these stores, and I end up at a trade show talking to them, and I go, "Oh yeah, I know where your store is in Jersey City. Absolutely. How's it going?" And they're like, "How the fuck do I make money?" Ooh, they'll tell at a cocktail party, they'll say, "Well, my wash dry fold does 18,000 a month." What does that mean? Does means gross. And what is your payroll? 24,000 a month. Okay, you've got a problem. Something is broken, and they want to know how to fix it.
So
Again,
a lot of people do like wash and fold, but don't put emphasis on the machines.
either they don't look. 78% of operators own one store. In order to leap to two, what is that? Another 5% get to two, and then the smallest group of folks are like me, 10 or more. So look at that difference. They can't figure out how to get out of one store. The day they turn the sign to open, they're stuck there. They're chained to it. If you have a plan to get out and go open more, then you are scaling. But most operators, they build that store and they have $2 million out. They just sit there and they wait for it to earn. They'll never make that $2 million. A laundromat can't do that. Look at Krispy Kreme's model if you don't know the story. Great donut. I don't go out for donuts, don't really care. I would walk over glass for a Krispy Kreme. Truth is, they got into the NASDAQ, they got kicked out. There was a lot of lawsuits because they were selling $1 million donut machines. You can't make $1 million 10 cents at a time. Great product, terrible operation. And there was some fraud, etc. It's a good story. I'm sure someone should write a book about it.
You should know that I've done in the recent, I'd say last 5 years, 4 different Krispy Kreme deals all over northern New Jersey.
So you should understand what they did and why they are no longer publicly traded. Essentially, they were scaling and they were saying, hey, we sold a donut store to Danny in Phoenix, Arizona, right? Well, Danny can't make the payments and he can't afford what they charge for their lard and their syrup and their recipes, right? So I fail. Then they sell it to you, David. And then they would go on to they would go into their books and say, we sold a store to Danny this year. We sold a store to David this year. Same fucking store. That's just part of it. Then they were saying that all of the flour and the dough and the lard in the back room was sold twice, once to you, once to me. It wasn't really a clean operation. You understand? So all of a sudden, they've got 11 stores in Phoenix, but there's just 11 different operators, and it's the same location. And the $1 million sign just came because, McDonald's sells for $1 million, so why not us? It's great product. And now what they're doing with those stores, and you know this, they're factories. They make the donuts and then they sell them to 7-Elevens and Circle K's and bodegas.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because that
these
works.
are what my franchisee client is calling them factory stores.
Yep.
And you're exactly right. They're putting them in regional strategic locations.
Because you can make money that way.
Bucks County, yeah.
The sign that says hot donuts doesn't do shit for you. People can't line up fast enough in the drive-through to pay for $1 million machine. So they've They've hammered it out. They've figured it out.
They're donut factories. Exactly
Yeah.
right.
Exactly. And they're great. They're great donuts, man. Now I need a donut. All right, David, I'll send you an email. God bless.
Thank you. I'll look out for
All
you,
right.
and we'll work on whatever we can. All
Cheers.
right. Good to
Bye.
talk to you.
Same.
Thanks. Bye.
All right. Now you know what I say, which is I know what I think. What do you think?
These, I don't know what the odds are with asking 73 and us offering. Obviously, we have a strong case for, a good rate of rent, but I don't know if there's a meeting of the minds, or I don't know, meeting of the minds is the wrong phrase, but it seems like a big gulf between 73 and 20. I don't see it working.
Well, there's a couple of things that happen here, right? In any negotiation, you want something, and he, not me, I'm just the go-between, right? You want something, and he wants to sell you something, whether it's a motorcycle or a box full of coins that you hope happens to have some misstruck penny that's going to be worth millions, or a business. Now, funny that he knows that I know. Of course, you tell me, well, maybe not mention that. Why the fuck not? $485,000 is a gag. It's a joke. It's not going to happen. And he knows that. He's trying to get someone to give him that money. He would happily talk to if I called and said, listen, how can you shave down this $485,000 price for me? He'd say, well,
Danny, the 485 was the other site in Harlem. The previous one, the doctor.
No, I thought it was this. No, 4,500 square feet. Oh, shit, you're right. Well, he says he doesn't know where that listing was because they only want the lease.
Yeah.
At $73 a square foot, plus 8. You missed that, right? Is that all in, or is there?
What? I didn't hear that.
Yeah, plus 8.
I didn't catch that. Sorry.
The $8 is the triple nets.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
Yeah. So what would your rent be?
Yeah, he's asking 81. And we're offering 12 and change. So
No, at 20, that's it. But here's the point of all this. He just had a conversation with a strong operator who is in no rush to ask him a bunch of questions. The idiotic operators, the knuckleheads, will call in and say, can you tell me why this place is closed for 2 years? How come no one's running it? Why doesn't the parking lot have good parking? And he's rolling his eyes like I am with him. So I say, no, I'm going to have debt service. I don't want to run it the way it is. This is going to end up costing me $1 million. And he says, oh, all right. Well, you could hear him say twice, you're the strong operator. What's the name of your organization? How do I find your stores? Don't worry, I'll email you. So, when you send him a $20 LOI, which you will do, it's LOI time on this one, don't expect a response other than a red line and, where they need to be. But it's going to go somewhere from 73 to the low 30s probably, which it's too big. That's part of the problem. Big store. And a lot of that is square footage that, you could put a roller skate rink in there and do really well. But it's a laundry. What we would do is run it with the equipment that's there, have it fixed from the distributors that show up, because the distributors are great. They'll come in, they'll go, I put this stuff in here. Yeah, I remember the guy, blah, blah, blah. I remember the second guy and the third guy. They've all failed. And you won't, because I'm not going to let you make a shit deal. All right, I'm done with you. I'm going to send him an email. I will CC you. I will send you the letter of intent, and I will give you all the instruction that you need so you can fill it out. Don't send it to him. Send it back to me. Email it, and I will look it over and make sure that it is correct. And it's all in there. Everything's in there. This place probably has shit air conditioning. It needs a lot of work, a lot of money, and this guy understands. Like I'm a secondhand broker for the guy. I know who. Yeah, you're the landlord's agent. That's who he is. I get that. No different. than if he's his cousin. Say goodbye. Good work.
Take care. Thank you,
Thanks.
Danny.
No time for anyone but use peoples, and we're doing that now. We're doing it live. I want to say, God bless America. God bless the Canucks. We got a lot of Canadians that are opening free laundromats. How do you do this? Well, click the little link. It's not hard to find, freelaundromat.com. I'm putting it in the thing. Free laundromat, spelled correctly with an O. Wonder what this will do when I type this in here. It's
Unknown
in the top
caller.
chat. It's in the top chat. Who is calling me? Should we see if it's someone selling me something? That would be hilarious. Was it? No, not a landlord. Here's what's funny about me. When you consult with me, you get my actual Swaler phone number. This is the number that you get. This is not a burner phone. I know some people that have millions of followers on the YouTubeinator, and they have a phone just for their clients so they can put it in a drawer somewhere and forget about you. I don't do that. I don't know what I would have done or how I would have done this 25 years ago. I've been negotiating for 21 years for folks like you. And I used to put everything on paper. Now, we've got the phone with thousands of contacts. The way it works, get the silly course. Go to freelaundromat.com. People in here know. Get my silly course. I'm not going to broadcast how fantastic it is because you guys do that for me. Life-changing in many cases. It just teaches you to do what we do here. For a very small fee, it's going to make you say, you know what? I can do this. I like this. This makes sense. This is my plan. My master plan, right? You need a plan. Depression, I don't understand it. Pain, agony, I get that. But to sit in bed every morning and not be able to drag your ass out, I don't understand that. I understand hard work, none of the 7 deadly sins, no gluttony, no overdoing anything, everything in moderation. I could go on. Cash laundromats saved me and made me a millionaire many times over. Stop me if you've heard this. I'm here to teach folks like you how to do it properly. Not the bullshit about buying one. You just heard 2 telephone calls to 2 landlords and or agents. If you're just joining us, go back and listen. We take $485,000 and turn it to a goose egg. And they understand. They go, oh, yeah, we're not going to charge you that. But we're trying to charge you this much for rent. What do? How do you circumvent that rent? Well, you either explain to them how you're an expert in the field and that's not the correct amount, or you hire me to do it. But the stopgap in between is watch the silly course. It's all YouTube, or it's all videos. You click on it, you have it instantly. It's not some DVD that we send out. I have been doing this long enough that I did have a DVD that was 2 discs and 6 hours. Not anymore. Now it's 101 hours of content. Don't be scared. It's good stuff. People enjoy it. It's entertaining. It's funny. I'm funny. Funny how? Like a clown? Try not to be an idiot. My call to action for you, because the year is coming to an end, folks. Right? The year is coming to a end. It's almost over. I amuse you? All right, now we're getting into the comments. I'm going to talk to you, kids. Ask me questions. It warms my cockles to say no one has ever taken me up on my 100% guarantee on my silly course. I extended that day one because I wanted folks to understand that this information is real. Okay? None of it's a secret. You're watching the end product here. The LOI is not the end product. That landlord's agent sends it off and says, hey, the difference between these other offers, if they're real, I love when people say I've got other offers because I normally say, have a nice day, click. There's that word again, click. I don't believe the guy. He's a professional broker. We'll send you an LOI. That shows that you are a professional. If the LOI is redlined and or accepted, you go to a lease, draft a lease. Now you have what? Kids, this place has hundreds of thousands of dollars in EPA fees, gas, water, and electric connections that someone else built. Not the two people he talked about that they're building for. That. Want to go spend $500,000 on infrastructure and fees so I can build a laundry because I watched a YouTube video, some gal talking about how you should buy one. No, I'm not going to buy one. I'm going to build it. Good God in heaven. Are you out there? Did you build a laundromat? I dare you to jump on the channel. I'll give you an 800 number you can call in. Anybody want to call in? I know that I had a question from someone about contract attendance. He sent me a video. Are you here? Raise your hand. Let's get to your comments. Your New Year's resolution, I don't care if you're fat, you smoke, you're dumb, lose weight, stop eating ice cream, quit smoking, get an education. It's not going to change your dumbness. How about this? Earn money. Do it properly. This isn't a side hustle. It's a life-changing opportunity. And if you hear the word opportunity and you think someone's selling something out of a van, you're wrong. In this case, you're wrong. Ask the people here. Jump into the comments if you've used my, quote, system to open your free laundromat. And then there is profit. And for the love of God, don't do one store. Don't shackle yourself to one banana stand. Do it over and over. If you know the road and the path, you take that road, and that path leads you to 10 stores, 11 stores, a dozen or more. Very, very different. If you're stuck in one, you can't run 10. My course, if you've seen my course, go smash the consultation button. Do it now. Prices are changing in the beginning of the year, 2026. Get with it. Try not to be an idiot. I love myself. I love my family. I love you kids. Hector says, let's go, Hector. I've seen your check marks, Hector. Hector is slowly slogging through all of my videos. Sorry, my voice is a little Vegas. Shelly and I were in Vegas for the Formula One. And she was dancing at a club. and I was screaming. I have a picture for you. I think I can show you the picture. Let me see if I'm good at this or not. Talk amongst yourselves. Ask me questions. There it is. Are you guys Facebooksing me? You should be Facebooksing me. Here it is. I think I can show you this. This is my Facebooks. I can show you it small like this, or I can show you it big. But this is what I was going to say. My profile picture. Her skin regimen, my God. I'm 54. You're not supposed to talk about ages, but Shelly looks like she's 20. What's the other pic? Oh, yes. So fun. That's Aspen. That's me biting her. That's Aspen. That's Venice. All right. I just thought I'd show you that picture in Vegas where I lost my voice screaming at her. Glad to be here, says Mark. Hector, are the environmental impact fees public record? So could I find these from years past to identify older laundromats? No, this is not something you will find that way. Now, let me say this. The real answer is likely yes in certain places, but how are you going to find it? Right? Where do you... Dude, don't overcomplicate this. Scouting laundromats is all about driving around and scouting laundromats. Don't overcomplicate it. Hector, God bless America. Hell yeah, brother. Greatest place on earth. And I've been to other places on earth, coming from a guy that knows. Lee says, I got a guy in my city, owns 15 laundromats, Danny. I got it on the document. Okay. We don't want to call him. We want to call his landlords. If he has 15 stores and one or two of them are dog poopa, we want to call his landlord. If he owns all 15 buildings, he might be willing to hand you one of those laundries, but which one will it be? The worst one that can't seem to make money. So, caveat emptor. That is Latin for watch your shit. Buyer beware. Tom says, yo, Danny, nice to meet you, brother. Love the way you roll. Misspelled. Just caught you on a live. Keep crushing it, brother. Well, thanks, Tom. Appreciate that. Do I amuse you? What am I, a clown? I don't know, Hendry. You might crack under questioning. Hola, amigo, says Jose. Jose here. You're a Norwegian, Spanish, American friend. Yes, you are. You are all of those things. Jose and I had a consultation. What was it, yesterday, Jose? How was it, Jose? Was that consultation anything like you thought it would be? Here we are, without any moderators, asking these kinds of questions. We're live, everybody. This is very exciting. Tom also goes on to ask, if you could start over knowing what you know now. Oh, boy. What would you look for in obtaining a new laundromat? Misspelled. What would you do different? Thanks, man. If you could start over knowing what you know now, I'd go back to high school. What would you look? That's funny, the question, because Tom, I'm doing that and teaching that and preaching that. The only store that I bought was store number 1, and from there forward, it would be what I do, what I preach, what you guys are doing. Lease negotiations. I got the landlord, owner, operator number. He owns 15. He's known in the city. Good. Listen, I appreciate each and every one of you. This is the time we say adios. I never know when I'm going to go live, so for your sake, if you want to watch these lives and catch them, click the follow button. Is that what it is? And then click the little notification bell. There we go. Try not to be an idiot. Notification bell. Start saying notification and see if anybody notices. Use it in your daily language. I got a lot of you kids hanging out, waiting to call your local evil landlord or agent. These people are not fighters, right? When you watch my shorts, not these shorts, when you watch my short videos, you'll see all of this failure. And I just got a comment that goes, oh, this guy never makes a deal. I make deals and my people are signing leases daily. But that's not what shorts are about. That's not the entertainment factor. The entertainment factor, that is not throwing knives at a pretty girl in a bikini. It's when you nick her with the knife and blood comes squirting out. That's what people want to see. You get it. Is that a good analogy? I'm not sure. I want you guys to go in the comments. You're watching this evergreen video, not in the top chat, but in the comments on the video. I want you to tell me about the time you got nicked with a knife. Ha! There it is. That'll screw up the algorithm, won't it? Tell me the whole story. Hospital or not. Ciao, kids. Get the course if you don't have it. If you do have it, smash the consult button so we can talk. Do it. Do it. Do it.